some of the themes that are definitely emerging over the course of the day in this stage here, and I think will be built upon in further follow-up sessions as well. So, our second speaker on this panel is Izzi Smith, and building on that nicely, she's going to be talking about practical insights into winning featured snippets. So, we could have a very welcoming Brighton SEO round of applause to welcome Izzi to the stage. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Wow, there's a lot of you. Today I'm going to be talking to you about how you can win these beautiful featured snippets. I've got some nice case studies of successes we have from the 6 rent-a-car domains where I'm working as an in-house SEO in Munich. And of course, these featured snippets are these big answer boxes that can take your organic result right to the top of the search results. And I'm a big fan of featured snippets. I know not everyone is, but I love them, and this is why you should too. So just by their presence of being on the SERPs, being so obvious and prominent, they can really uplift your traffic. So here's just an example of one that our German domain won for the term car brands. And all of a sudden, it became one of the most visited SEO pages of the whole domain just via this feature snippet. And because Google is highlighting your response to be a good answer to someone's problem, or it's showing your result as a solution, it can also uplift your conversions. It's a really good trust signal. So this one for car rental in Croatia showed a huge increase on our organic performance, and it's so evident, this uplift. Brand awareness. If you're creating featured snippets, you have a chance to easily outrank stronger, more older domains. Here's an example of a small recipe website that is outranking big, huge domains like Good Housekeeping, Jamie Oliver, and BBC. Also now, your featured snippets are more likely to be taken as a voice search response. So if you're optimizing for featured snippets, you're optimizing for the big voice search topic as well. And let's face it, they're pretty fucking cool, right? So where do I start with creating featured snippets? And do you like my GIF? It begins with identifying the right type of keywords. There are specific type of keyword modifiers that generate or trigger featured snippets. So what are those? There is a great study by SEMrush who say that 42% of featured snippet queries use question modifiers. But there are also prepositions such as with, without, similar to, and comparison keywords such as best, worst, and so on. So now you know that, you should evaluate your current rankings, the current keywords that have those modifiers that are generating impressions and bringing people to your website already. And I like to do that very simply with Search Console data in Google Analytics. In Google Analytics, because there is no regular expression filtering at the moment in Search Console, unfortunately. So there is my regular expression. I want to see all of my queries that are generating impressions and clicks that begin with why, how, best, and so on. And once you've done that, you need to evaluate the potential rankings. And feature snippets aside, this is a very important point, because there could be many problems out there that you are the best source to be providing solutions for, but you're currently not. So there's a lot of content potential out there for you. Answer the public, I think it gets mentioned a lot at every Brighton SEO, but it's a great free tool. And here you can see what keywords around a certain topic that already that people are searching for, that are questions, prepositions, and comparisons. Perfect. And here I've searched for beer, and I've already got all of these potential queries. You should contact your customer support and sales teams, because these are the ones that deal with your customers on a daily basis. They know the kind of questions that your customers are asking, the kind of problems that you could be solving using content on your website and not an expensive phone call or email contact. and ask your public on your site using free surveys such as Hotjar that can pop up and say, hey, what are you specifically looking for? Are we answering your problem? And what are people asking in forum websites? You want to be able to take that traffic away from those forum websites using your feature snippets and your content. Also, people also ask boxes usually have a feature snippet of their own, so they're a good source of inspiration. Once you've done that, you need to assess what the intent of the query is. And there are, broadly speaking, 3 different types of query intents. There's informational, such as, what is a car? There's navigational, like, I want to go to a specific service, like Sixt login. And transactional, I have an explicit intent to buy something, rent a car in London. But there are also hybrid keywords, such as transactional navigational, like so, informational navigational, and this right here is feature snippet gold, informational transactional. Informational because it will trigger a feature snippet, and with top of the funnel transactional intent, explicit or implicit right now, those are the types of feature snippets that are going to drive those clicks and not just solve the user's question on the SERPs. So aim for those. Yes, focus on those keywords with click-through intent. Here's a bad example. How old do I need to be to get a tattoo? Once they have the answer, they're probably going to exit the SERPs. Higher click intent, a good example. How old to hire a car? It's less likely that someone is just looking for an answer. It's more likely that they also want to go to my landing page and hopefully make a booking. So that's a good kind of feature snippet. So now the fun stuff. Once you have all your keywords, you've assessed the intent, you've created priorities, then you can go out and build them. So for your landing pages, do I go for huge, long-form, holistic, as an example, or a specific page just for the query? Like everything, it depends. You should go for the long-form, holistic page if you can cluster smaller, similar topics. For example, in an FAQ section. You can utilize existing page strength if you already have ranking landing pages that you simply need to optimize in order to trigger those feature snippets. But be careful. Make sure that you use clear headers and subsections, and it's actually holistic. I've seen some examples of FAQ pages that have 56 different questions on there, no jump links, no navigation, and they asked me, why aren't we triggering that feature snippet? And I told them, yeah. You should go for a specific landing page for that query if there is reasonable search volume. It can and it should be explained in detail. Is there a need for additional related content? And there's more of a transactional intent. This is my favorite. So I've seen some really good wins just by creating specific landing pages for feature snippet queries. Don't do something like this, though. One landing page, one question, one answer. Yes, it might be very useful for your user, but in this case, this won't win the featured snippet. Sad face. The next step is providing the perfect content. Feature snippet-worthy content should be factual, of course, use supporting data and sources, written for humans, can't stress this enough, and please, please ignore keyword density. Wikipedia wins a lot of informational feature snippets because they provide good, concise answers. Next, give it some structure. Like we've seen, paragraph queries is the most common. And these are usually triggered by the standard sort of questions. So structure them around the 40 to 60 word paragraph sweet spot if you're aiming for those common question snippets. Sorry. For prepositions and comparisons, you should use list articles with clear headers. So, sorry, there's the featured snippet. And this is how the steps look like on the landing page. So there's a clear header, an image, an explanation, and Google's smart enough just to take the H3s or whatever they were into the list structure. How-to and methods go for light HTML lists, ordered or unordered, whatever is most relevant. Here's how to build a snowman, and that's how it looks on the landing page. When possible, you should bulk out your lists. I'm saying when possible because don't add additional steps just for the sake of it. Because you don't want to get this finished tag. Remember, it's all about getting people onto your landing page, getting those clicks. No, not good. So you need this more items, and that shows the user, it gives them the incentive to click onto your landing page, read more, and see that there is additional content to discover. Yes. For comparisons and data, you should construct tables like this. The point is, you should make your content grabbable by Google. Make it clean, and so they can just take it from your landing page and drop it on the SERPs as your featured snippet. And next, you've got to prove that you are the expert on that topic. Like Hannah said, you need to show why you deserve to be there. You can prove your expertise. We've all heard a lot about the EAT, expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. Those words are hard to say. Since the August 1st update, and I know Marie will give a lot of information about that later. Again, I said this before, but I want to reiterate, provide supporting data and sources, additional useful content, and honestly, it doesn't hurt to have good referring backlinks from trusted sources too. So don't just provide your question keyword and your answer, like I showed you. Provide a heading and an introduction. Introduce the topic. A visual aid, such as a descriptive diagram, can work, can really help uplift your chances. And there's your fantastic additional content as well. That's showing to Google that you're not just a good source of information on what are the ingredients of beer, but the topic of beer as a whole as well. And these can also help with these new multi-topic feature snippets. If you click on these bubbles, it then changes the feature snippet, it modifies the keyword, and by providing more long-tail content, more specific content as well, you can win all of those bubbles. And this is the new one for mobile. These are feature snippets displayed in drop-down format. So it's getting more and more important for you to start providing additional related content. Onto the structured data topic, which I'm a huge fan of. So schema.org was created by search engines to help us give explicit meaning to the content, the data on our websites. And rich snippets, they're pretty quick and easy. I put a little star because, of course, you need to be playing by the rules, and if there isn't a supportive rich snippet, you're not going to win one. But just applying schema markup to your data doesn't mean you're going to instantly get a featured snippet, but it can help them understand the context of what information you're providing there. So yeah, it's pretty helpful. So what I like to use is Q&A page. I'm showing to Google, okay, this is my FAQ section. That's a specific question and a specific answer, and this does work sometimes. Here are some types that you can test. Item list, how-to section, how-to step, QA page, and answer. Optimize the images that you provide for your feature snippet content. It could really also increase your CTR even more if you have a nice image there with a call to action, like here, or if you're providing a good visual aid. But what you don't want is for your competitor to take over that spot. It's not good. So here we have the text of the feature snippet, but Europcar has the image. But we won it back just by making sure that the images we had on the landing page were topic relevant. I know that seems quite like stating the obvious, but sometimes people don't always do that. I generally, by a rule of thumb for these pages, keep them less than 600 pixels, compressed, of course, and in a 4:3 aspect ratio. It's quite rare to see a feature snippet image in the portrait landscape. Okay, done. I've done all that. Now what? It's quite easy to see where you are in this featured snippet queue. So if you take the query that you're hunting, minus the domain with the feature snippet, it will show you the second in line. And then you can use this, see if you're second or third. You can even go even deeper. And if you're not there, or if Google then doesn't display a feature snippet, you know that there's something that you need to go back on your landing page and test and try again. And the final step is don't lose faith. Feature snippet hunting can take days to months to years. For us in the beginning, it took quite a while to see feature snippets, but don't give up. And Google is also continuously perfecting their feature snippet grabbing, especially with incorrect or misleading answers. So very quickly, I want to show you some successful case studies from our 6 rent-a-car domains in generating feature snippets, and hopefully that will give you some nice actionable tips to go back to your domains and apply. So the first one came from a problem. We have these transactional car model keywords, such as rent a BMW 5 Series, and we love these queries because the user knows exactly what car they want. It's highly transactional, and we rank pretty awesome for them, so between 1 and 3, and we've got a lot of these landing pages. Awesome. But our brand awareness in the UK right now is still not as high as our competitors. It's improving, but it's at the moment, we weren't seeing the clicks because even though we were ranking number 1, our competitor below us was getting those clicks because they have more brand authority in the UK. So I said, as a hypothesis, we need richer snippets. I thought maybe if we can provide more content on the SERP, we can overcome the lack of brand awareness and stabilize and improve those clicks. So we need stars, we need ratings, we need data, we need something beautiful. But the problem is we're not a recipe site. We're not an event. Basically, there is no rich snippet for car rental. So we need our own car rental rich snippet. What did we do? I looked to Wikipedia, the kings of structured content, and they have these really nice structured snippets, like in a table format. And I said, I want that. How do I get it? I changed the landing page template. So there's the heading, the intro, and conversion copy. And we added these car data tables in very basic HTML, as you can see, with some nice structured data for car specifications. And then there's additional relevant content, and lower below the fold there is more. What happened? After 3 months, we got these awesome car model feature snippets. It's beautiful, right? So it's taking our organic result, there it is at number 3 for Ford Mustang, and putting it right at the top of the SERPs. And we're also getting this table snippet, like Wikipedia, so we're getting both. The user really can't ignore us on the SERPs. What were the results of this, aside from the cool as fuck feature snippet? In the US, so in .com, amount of pages generating a snippet was 18%. Our sessions increased year over year by 183%. And the bookings, so the conversions, went up 41%, which is pretty awesome. So not only were they driving clicks, but people were seeing us more as a trusted source because Google was saying, hey, if you want to rent a car, here's 6, they're the best ones. And in the UK also we saw a lot of pages generating snippets. And again, it improved our sessions by a lot and the bookings by a lot. You should take a picture of that because then you can go back to work and say, we need these feature snippets. And not only was this a great result for us, but it means that we had a good recipe for building and generating feature snippets that we could apply to other pages. The second good case study was just simply restructuring content. So taking this question and answer format, creating a list, a bullet point list, and bam, we got the feature snippet within days. That's how easy it is sometimes. The third case study is promoting content to its own landing page. So seeing what is existing already on these long-form pages, FAQs, like this one, what payment methods are accepted by Sixt, debit cards. But I realized after research that a lot of people are asking questions about, do car rental companies accept debit cards, sorry. So we just created its own landing page with all the additional relevant content, and we Google a choice of structures. There's a list, a paragraph, and a table. And we got a feature snippet in a paragraph format, and for those with location keyword modifiers, we're getting a table as well. So overall, I can't show you the exact numbers for the CTR. Oh. This is our average, so no rich snippet, no featured snippet. I'm proud of this number. It's a good CTR. But for our featured snippet click-through rate, it's so much higher. It's pretty amazing. So just by gathering all this CTR data in Search Console and filtering out those that are generating featured snippets to calculate this nice CTR curve, it really showed why we need to spend time adapting our content for this. So very quickly, the key takeaways. Target informational transactional queries that will trigger feature snippets and drive both clicks and revenue. Carry out problem and solution research, not just keyword research. Ask to your sales team, your Crow team, talk to your customers, see what problems arise. Provide epic user-focused content that serves the need. And by using structured content and schema markup, ensure that your content is easily grabbable. So the point is, in conclusion, optimizing for feature snippet isn't a bad SEO practice because it's the right step in the direction of creating good, understandable content that is easily understood by search engines and users. So I wish you the best of luck with your feature snippet hunting, and thank you for listening. I'm Izzy Smith. Thanks.
I love